Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I am here in a forest, which isn't normal for this channel. I've tried to do this video before, right? I tried to do a video on why Ninjago is one of the best themes that LEGO have. But it ended up just me fanboying over each season of Ninjago, and I'm going to try and avoid that this video. I was about to say this episode. I don't really know. Are these episodes? No, because it's not like part 1, part 2. It's literally just a different thing. It's different video. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be talking about why Ninjago is one of the best themes for LEGO. And this is as both a fan of Ninjago and a fan of LEGO, so don't think that I'm being too biased. I mean, like, I am definitely heavily swayed by the sets and the series, but, I think that's part of why it's so good and why I like it personally. So, to start things off, right, the sets, right, all of the sets put out by LEGO for Ninjago, almost all of the sets put out for Ninjago have at least been good. Other than some exceptions, everything has been pretty good, I think. All of the temple builds they do, all of the vehicles and the mechs, and this will be... In fact, I feel like I should start on this next. I should cover this next, is the variety of things that they do, but the amount of sets that they put out that are at least good to great. Some of my favourite sets have been from Ninjago, being Ninjago City Gardens. And that's just as a general, all of LEGO history, But then you've also got, like, some of the smaller sets, There's been medium-sized sets that are pretty good, Some of the £30 bikes, some of the £50 temples and things. Even down to some of the, like, small polybags that you can get. They're still pretty good, Like, they may not be always the best. Like, every set has something that can improve it. But with some sets, I have found some flawless sets, in my opinion. So that is, first off, one of the main reasons, is the content that LEGO put out for Ninjago. All of the LEGO sets that they put out always have so much care to them, and I feel like that's easy to tell, It's definitely a theme that LEGO enjoys to put out. I mean, I know it's not really LEGO as a company, it's more that the developer team and the set designers put care into the sets. Now, as for all the sets, there's a variety of stuff. Like, no one can deny that. If you like anything, Ninjago have pretty much done a theme on it. Atlantis, they recently did the Seabound wave. I forgot this in the last video. Seabound, for people that like Atlantis or water submarine stuff. And, it wasn't a theme for me. Like, personally, I didn't really like that wave of sets. The series was good with it, but I just don't think Water Ninja is that cool of an idea. But the fact that the sets came out and I still wanted to get all of them, all of the sets that they put out were good. I really enjoyed all of the sets that were released. And for the fact that I didn't like the concept of it, the concept of ninja being underwater isn't that interesting to me, but they still designed sets that caught my attention, that I went out and purchased and wasted my money on because they were so good. The figures were kind of cool, especially some of the, like, new molds that we got for the Sea Serpents and Prince Calamar, I think. Everything that they did put out was enjoyable. But then they've also got some underground stuff, The season before that was the Shintaro wave, where everything was underwater. Nope, under the earth, and, like, in a cave and stuff. Like, the fact that LEGO made it so you could buy individual sets and put them all together, or like all the side builds together, was probably my favourite part about that wave. I really like that, and I hope LEGO continue to do it. But that'll be a separate video on things that I really liked from LEGO that I want them to do more of, because I've got a lot of things. But, you know, the fact that you can do these different themes with a set of ninjas, which also means that they can do like Asian style builds, temples, dragons, and not everything feels like it's being confined to being ninja themed or like Asian themed. But then you've also got the dragons and the mechs and the bikes and the vehicles. Now, granted, some of them can get a little bit repetitive. In this latest core wave release, as of the time of recording this, a couple of the mechs feel a bit samey, but even then, the fact that they've all got their own unique things to them, you know, the fact that there's different ninja and they still manage to make the sets feel separated from each other, or not separated, but like different from each other, is a theme that I think does it well. Now, as for other waves that they've done, you know, they've done the Nindroid season, so if you like more high-tech space themed stuff, they've done that. Now, other than like an actual space theme, I don't think Ninjago have kind of done that yet. A lot of things can be imagined for a space theme, you know, the Nindroid stuff. Some of the submarines, I guess, you could see as like spaceships, depending on your imagination. But the fact that they can make that, and have done like space stuff in the show, which will also be something that we cover pretty soon. But the fact that they have done everything, gaming, like they did an entire wave of sets based on video games. That, like, they could have easily just put out a game and been like, right, there's your set, end of. But they were able to design so many cool things for that wave. Now, granted, that is probably my least favourite wave for Ninjago, but it was still an interesting concept, and I still appreciate that LEGO did that. Now, granted that the fact that they do so many different sub-themes within it does kind of mean that if you really like one set of things, you know, for some reason you really liked the ghost stuff that they put out, you know, you're probably not going to get that too much more. Obviously, with the legacy stuff, you know, that does mean that you will probably see some ghost stuff here and there. So obviously the fact that they do certain things, not even on a cycle, and it's more just individual themes, and that's something that I've just realised while making this video, is they haven't done one specific theme twice. They've done themes quite similarly linked. The second wave, where it's the Serpentine, and then the fourth wave, I think. Yeah, was it the fourth? Yeah. No. Basically, the Serpentine wave, and then the Anaconda Tournament of Elements wave. Now, the fact that they were both heavily snake themed, and for example, they've done quite a few snake themes recently with Core. All of them sets have been like snake villains, and you know, the legacy stuff, obviously, because it's based on the older stuff. But they've done quite a few things, and they've still managed to keep everything different. And the fact that I've only just picked that up on the fact that they still do similar themes. And for example, the rebooted wave of sets can kind of be seen, can kind of be linked to the Unigami wave. I can't remember what that game wave was called, but the video game wave, you know, it's pretty high tech still. And the fact that they've been able to come up with 10 years worth of, or 11 years now, 11 years worth of creative ideas for a set of ninja. Like, if you told any person that you could come up with even 10 different themes for a set of ninja to be in, they'd be like, oh yeah, there's Asian, dragons, And like, no, they have done so much interesting things, and I feel like that is one of the main reasons why it's done so well. It's because it applies to every market. The fans of Ninjago as a season and as a product, people that like space and tech, people that like the more Asian builds and the ninjas, and the people that like the Atlantean stuff, and the people that like the concept of video game stuff, and all of this different content that they've put out has all been based on the simple concept of a group of ninja. Now, my personal favourite wave for the concept of it was the hunted wave. That was probably my favourite idea, where it's like a set of ninja on the run from a big villain, or a set of big villains, obviously, with the 2 different seasons going on at the same time. But it was like this Mad Max style with ninjas, and it was awesome. I loved it. And the fact that I was able to get that from Lego just because of a wave of ninjas is so cool to think about. And then there's the show. You know, I spoke about this quite a lot in the last video, or the video before, you know, last video that I spoke about in Ninjago. But the fact that Lego have a show to go with it, I think does obviously advertise it more. You know, you see something from a Lego show, you expect Lego to make it. But the show itself is cool, and I wouldn't say that the show has caused me to buy any sets, but I definitely see why it would. Like, I enjoy the show, I watch the show, but I get the sets because I enjoy the sets. And I feel like that has probably been the biggest thing for me as a Lego fan, is that although the sets, although the show exists, you don't need to watch it to appreciate the sets. You can look at a set and think, wow, that is a really cool build. And for the fact that we get so many different ranges for the sets, you know, it doesn't just apply to kids, it doesn't just apply to adults, it covers such a broad thing. Even some of the more childish stuff can still be enjoyed by adults, I think. Now, obviously, this was just the basic concept. There's a bunch more that I could go into, but then again, I'd end up going into this side tangent that I did last week, or the last Ninjago video, where it's me just fanboying over each season. But the fact that we've had like skeletons and undead, to snakes, to stone warriors and samurai, to a cult, to robots, and all of this stuff, pirates, ghosts, ice and fire villains. That is cool to think about, the fact that it is just plastic ninja bricks. That is why I love Ninjago, and why I think it's done so well, and why I think it will continue to do well for quite a while. Now, that is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you would like to share your opinion, feel free. I would love to hear your feedback. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, where I probably won't be talking about Ninjago, because the only reason why this video is up is because I messed it up last time and just went on a side tangent. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.